Welcome to Burns Hustles, where we turn side hustles into cash. Have you ever thought about becoming an Airbnb host? It's an intriguing prospect, isn't it? Airbnb, as you may know, is a popular platform that allows people to rent out their homes, apartments, or even just a room to travelers from around the world. But being an Airbnb host is not just about providing a place to stay. It's about creating unique, memorable experiences for your guests. It's about showcasing your hometown to others and allowing them to glimpse into your world. It's about meeting new people and, yes, also about earning extra income. Imagine having your home filled with stories and laughter from different corners of the earth and the satisfaction of knowing that you've provided a comfortable and cozy stay for someone far from their home. So if you're interested in this journey, let me guide you on how to become an Airbnb host. The first step in your journey is to check local regulations. Now, this might not sound like the most thrilling part of becoming an Airbnb host, but trust me, it's a crucial one. Why, you ask? Because every city, town, or village might have different rules when it comes to short-term rentals. And you certainly don't want to find yourself in a pickle for unknowingly breaking those rules. So, what do these local regulations cover? They could be about anything from zoning laws to licensing requirements, from safety regulations to tax obligations. Some cities require you to obtain a permit or a license before you can start renting out your space. Others might have specific zoning laws that restrict short-term rentals in certain areas. Now you might be thinking, well, I'll just skip this step. What are the chances they'll find out? But let's be clear here, ignorance is not bliss. If you fail to comply with these regulations, you could face fines or worse, legal actions. So as tempting as it might be to skip this step, it's in your best interest not to. And what about taxes? The inevitable question. Yes, there might be certain taxes that you're required to pay as a short-term rental host. These could include city or county taxes, occupancy taxes, or even income taxes on your rental income. So make sure you're clear on what's applicable in your area. Where can you find this information? Your local government website is a good place to start. If you're unsure about anything, don't hesitate to get in touch with the relevant local authorities. They're there to help you understand and navigate these regulations. Remember, understanding your local regulations is not just about ticking a box. It's about being a responsible member of your community. It's about ensuring that your hosting adventure is built on a solid foundation of legal compliance and mutual respect. Once you've understood and complied with your local regulations, we can move on to the next step. Now, it's time to prepare your space. Think of this as setting the stage for a memorable performance. Your space is the star of the show, and your guests are the eager audience. So, how do you ensure a standing ovation every time? By putting in the effort to create an inviting, clean, and safe environment. First off, cleanliness is paramount. It's not just about making the bed and fluffing the pillows. Go the extra mile. Scrub the bathroom until it shines. Dust off every surface and ensure the kitchen is spotless. Remember, your guests are expecting a hotel-like experience. Don't disappoint them. Next, create a comfortable environment. This doesn't mean you need to break the bank on plush furnishings or designer decor. It's about creating a space that feels like home. Add personal touches that reflect your style. Perhaps a cozy reading nook by the window or a selection of your favorite books on the shelf. Make sure the lighting is warm and inviting, and that there's enough seating for your guests to relax. Now let's talk about safety. This is non-negotiable. Ensure there are working smoke detectors and carbon monoxide alarms in each room. Keep a first aid kit handy and make sure all exits are clearly marked. If you have a balcony or a pool, make sure they're child-friendly. And don't forget to provide your guests with emergency contact numbers and any necessary evacuation plans. And finally, keep in mind that preparation is an ongoing process. After each guest leaves, it's time to prepare for the next. Reevaluate your space, assess what worked and what didn't, and make the necessary changes. This way, you're always improving and always ready to welcome your next guest. Remember, the little details make a big difference. They turn a good stay into a great one, and a great stay into a memorable experience. With your space ready, you're one step closer to becoming a host. Now that your space is ready, it's time to create your listing. The key to a successful Airbnb listing is to make it as attractive and accurate as possible. Let's break this down into three main components: photos, description, and pricing. First off, photos. Quality photos are your first chance to grab potential guests' attention. You don't need a fancy camera. Most modern smartphones will do the trick. Ensure your space is clean, well-lit, and clutter-free before you start snapping away. Capture all corners of your space, from the cozy bedroom to the convenient kitchen. Don't forget to include photos of any unique features or selling points, like a stunning view or a relaxing patio. Next, we move on to the description. This is where you can really sell your space. Here's a tip. Don't just describe the physical aspects of your place. Instead, paint a picture of the experience your guests can expect. Is your place perfect for a romantic getaway? Or maybe it's an ideal base for city explorers. Write in a way that appeals to your ideal guest. Keep it crisp, clear, and most importantly, honest. Remember, accuracy is key to avoiding disappointments and negative reviews. Lastly, let's talk price. Setting a competitive price can be a bit tricky. It's a balancing act. Price too high and you may scare off potential guests. Price too low and you may undersell your space or attract guests who don't respect it. Start by researching similar listings in your area. Consider factors like location, size, and amenities. Do you offer something extra like a hot tub or a game room? Factor that into your price. Don't forget to consider the time of year and local events, as these can greatly affect demand. Remember, your listing is a reflection of you and your space. It's your chance to showcase what makes your place special and invite people to come and enjoy it. So take your time, put in the effort, and make it shine. With your listing created, you're almost there. With your listing live, it's time to manage your bookings. Once your listing is out there in the world, it's a waiting game. But when the bookings start rolling in, it's time to manage them effectively. This might feel overwhelming, but don't worry, you've got this. A booking is not just a transaction, it's an opportunity to create a bond with your guests. Communication is key here. Be responsive, courteous, and professional in your interactions. A quick response to a booking request or query can make a world of difference in the guest's experience. It's not just about securing the booking, but also about building a positive relationship with your guest. Now, let's talk about cancellations and changes. They're inevitable. Sometimes guests need to cancel or change their booking, and sometimes you might need to cancel a booking due to unforeseen circumstances. It's essential to handle these situations with grace and understanding. Be transparent about your cancellation policy from the get-go so there are no surprises later. If a guest needs to change their booking, try to accommodate them as best you can. If you can't, explain why and offer alternatives if possible. Remember, a happy guest is more likely to leave a positive review, and we all know how important those are. And what about those gaps in between bookings? Use them wisely. This is the perfect time to do some maintenance, make improvements, or even just take a breather. Being a host can be demanding, so don't forget to take care of yourself too. Finally, remember to keep track of your bookings. A well-organized booking calendar is your best friend. It will help you manage your time, avoid double bookings, and ensure you're prepared for each guest's arrival. There are plenty of digital tools available that can help you with this, so find one that suits your needs. Managing bookings effectively is crucial to being a successful host. And with these tips, you're well on your way to mastering this essential part of the hosting process. Now let's focus on providing a great experience for your guests. You've set the stage, you've welcomed them in, but how do you ensure your guests have a memorable stay? The answer lies in a blend of hospitality, communication, and attention to detail. Let's start with hospitality. Think back to a time when you felt truly welcome. What made that experience special? Was it a warm greeting, a thoughtful gesture, or perhaps a clean and cozy environment? As a host, recreate those moments for your guests. A personalized note, a basket of local goodies, or even a guidebook of your favorite local spots can make your guests feel right at home. Next up, communication. It's a two-way street. Not only should you be able to express your house rules clearly, but you should also be open to any questions or concerns your guests might have. Remember, no question is too small when comfort is on the line. Be approachable, be responsive, and most importantly, be patient. Your guests will appreciate your effort and understanding. Now, let's talk about attention to detail. It's those little things that often make the biggest difference. A well-stocked bathroom, a fully equipped kitchen, or a comfortable working space can significantly elevate your guests' experience. But don't stop there. Regularly seek feedback from your guests and use that information to continuously improve your offerings. And finally, always be ready to go that extra mile. If a guest is celebrating a special occasion, can you do something to make their day even more memorable? Maybe a bottle of wine or a small celebration cake. These small gestures can turn a good stay into an unforgettable one. Remember, as a host, your goal is not just to provide a space, but to create an experience that your guests will cherish, share, and most importantly, come back to. A happy guest means a successful hosting experience. Finally, let's talk about handling reviews and feedback. In the world of Airbnb hosting, reviews and feedback are your bread and butter. They are the lifeblood of your listing and the currency of your reputation. Every host needs to understand their importance. Reviews and feedback serve as public testimonials of your hosting prowess, and a strong stream of positive reviews can catapult your listing to the top. But what happens when you receive a not-so-glowing review? Well, first, don't panic. Negative reviews are part of the game. They are opportunities for growth, not the end of the world. When faced with a negative review, take a step back, take a deep breath, and approach it with a clear mind. Your response should always be professional and polite. Thank the guest for their feedback and apologize for any shortcomings. Be sincere. People can tell when you're not. If the guest has pointed out a valid issue, acknowledge it. Promise to address it and follow through. This shows potential guests that you're committed to providing the best experience possible. Remember, every review, positive or negative, is a chance to show off your customer service skills. Responding graciously to negative feedback can turn a potential black mark into a gold star. Sometimes you'll receive feedback that's not publicly posted. Treat this with equal importance. This is your guest giving you a chance to improve without airing the dirty laundry. Appreciate it. Act on it. Feedback, in all its forms, is a gift. It's a mirror that shows you what you're doing right and where you could improve. Embrace it. You might find that over time, handling reviews becomes second nature. You'll develop a sense for what needs immediate attention and what can be chalked up to personal preference. You'll become more resilient, more adaptable, and ultimately, a better host. So take every review as an opportunity to learn, to grow, and to show your guests just how dedicated you are to their experience. Reviews and feedback are key to continuous improvement as a host. So, are you ready to take the leap and become an Airbnb host? It's a question that invites reflection, doesn't it? Let's take a moment to recap what we've explored today. First, we touched on the very core of hosting. It's not just about having an extra room or a vacant property. Hosting is about creating connections, sharing experiences, and making your guests feel at home. We then moved on to the importance of checking local regulations. Remember, it's crucial to ensure your hosting venture is above board. It's about doing things right from the start. Preparing your space was our next focus. A clean, comfortable, and well-equipped space can make a world of difference to your guests' experience. It's the little details that often make the biggest impact. Then we delved into the art of creating an enticing listing. This is your chance to showcase what makes your space unique and why guests should choose your place over others. It's your space's spotlight moment. Managing bookings efficiently came next. A streamlined process not only makes your life easier, but also enhances your guests' experience. It's all about making things smooth and seamless. We also explored how to provide a great experience for your guests, from a warm welcome to being available when needed. It's these gestures that often turn guests into repeat customers. It's the human touch that makes all the difference. And finally, we discussed handling reviews and feedback. Constructive criticism can be a powerful tool for improvement, and positive reviews can boost your visibility and credibility. It's about learning, growing, and evolving. So, to wrap up, becoming an Airbnb host involves several steps, each equally significant. It might seem a bit daunting at first, but remember, every journey starts with a single step. Remember, being an Airbnb host is about more than just renting out a space, it's about providing a memorable experience. So, are you ready to start your hosting journey?